Tammy sat at her desk, her eyes glued to the computer screen. She had just finished an important project for work and was looking forward to taking a break, but something caught her eye. A small pop-up window appeared on her screen. It was an advertisement for a new computer virus protection software. Tammy rolled her eyes. She had already installed antivirus software on her computer, and she didn't need any more pop-ups to distract her. She clicked the X button to close the window, but it wouldn't budge. She tried again and again, but the pop-up remained, taunting her. She decided to restart her computer, thinking that would solve the problem. But when she logged back in, the pop-up was still there. Tammy began to panic. What if she had accidentally clicked on a malicious link or downloaded a virus? She knew she had to get her computer checked out, but she didn't have the time or money to take it to a repair shop. Days turned into weeks, and Tammy began to notice strange things happening on her computer. Files would go missing, and she would find strange programs installed on her computer that she didn't remember downloading. She tried to ignore it, thinking it was just a glitch, but the feeling of being watched never left her. One day, Tammy received an email from an unknown sender. The subject line read, "I'm watching you." Tammy's heart raced as she opened the email. The message read, "Hello, Tammy. I've been watching you for a while now. You have no idea how beautiful you look when you're typing away at your computer. I can see everything you do." Tammy's hands shook as she read the message. Who was this person? How did they know her name? And most importantly, how were they watching her? She tried to reply to the email, but it bounced back. She tried to track the sender's IP address, but it was hidden behind multiple layers of encryption. Tammy was trapped, and she didn't know what to do. The emails continued, each one more sinister than the last. The stalker would describe in detail what Tammy was wearing, what she was doing, and where she was. She began to feel like she was being followed wherever she went. The worst part was that the stalker knew everything about her. They knew her schedule, her routines, her likes and dislikes. Tammy was terrified that they would show up at her door one day. One night, Tammy was working late on a project when she heard a noise outside her window. She tried to ignore it, but the noise continued, getting louder and more persistent. She finally got up to investigate, peering out into the darkness. That's when she saw him, a man in a hooded sweatshirt, holding a laptop in his hands. She recognized him from her office building, but she couldn't remember his name. He had always seemed a little off, but she never thought he would do something like this. Tammy's heart pounded in her chest as the man began to walk towards her door. She knew she had to act fast. She grabbed her phone and dialed 911, explaining the situation to the operator. But as she turned back to look out the window, the man was gone. The police arrived within minutes, but there was no sign of the stalker. They searched the surrounding area but found nothing. Tammy felt like she was going crazy. Was she imagining all of this? Was the stalker even real? Days turned into weeks, and Tammy began to doubt herself. Maybe she was just overreacting. Maybe it was all just a coincidence. But then, she received another email, and everything came flooding back. This time, the stalker included a video file. Tammy hesitated to open the video, but her curiosity got the better of her. She clicked play and watched in horror as the video showed her going about her daily routine. From waking up in the morning to getting ready for work, the stalker had captured every moment on film. Tammy felt violated and sick to her stomach. She knew she couldn't continue to live like this. She had to find a way to stop the stalker. Tammy contacted a cybersecurity firm and explained her situation. They promised to help her track down the stalker and put an end to his reign of terror. The cybersecurity team discovered that the stalker had been using a sophisticated computer virus to gain access to Tammy's computer and monitor her every move. He had been using her own webcam to watch her without her knowledge. With the help of the cybersecurity team, Tammy was able to remove the virus from her computer and secure her online accounts. The stalker was eventually caught and arrested, but the damage had already been done. Tammy was left traumatized by the experience and struggled to trust anyone. Years later, Tammy still found it hard to shake off the memories of her stalker. She had installed the best antivirus software on her computer and was always careful about what she downloaded, but the fear of being watched never truly left her. She was right to be suspicious. Not long after she thought about the stalker again, she walked into her house to find a man in an all-black faceless rave suit with a red tie around his neck. She tried to run for the door, but he had control of her auto-response system and locked it before she could open it. No matter how hard she tried to unlock the door, the bolt would return to the locked position before she could open it. "What do you want?" she cried out. The stalker smiled behind the faceless mask and sprayed something sweet-smelling into her face. From there, he carried her out and placed her in his white van. No one ever heard from Tammy again. Thanks for listening.